All right, just a quick little introduction here and how to use the tone matrix within Audiotool. Over here, you have a little synthesizer bank. You got that little plus sign at the very top. Come on over to the tone matrix. This is the simplest of all the synthesizers to use. And this one simply works by turning on a button, and then you can hit play down here, or you can hit the space bar. And you get a little audio that comes through. You can add more notes. It's a pentatonic scale, so nice thing about it is like playing the black keys on the piano. Gives you a couple of octaves to work with if you like. You create a pattern that you like. You can then add it into your timeline. I'm going to go ahead and hit stop on my play, and then right click on the border. You can't right click on the buttons, but right click on the border and you'll get copy pattern to track. And now you have in here, you can double click here and it'll show you what you created on a piano roll. Now you'll notice this is not actually the black keys, but if you took all this and transposed it, you'd actually get the same effect as having all the black keys on the piano being played. We're just going to move it all up a note. You'll see every single one of these little white lines lines up with the black key right there. You see that? So this is the pentatonic scale. Nice thing about this, any combination of notes in the pentatonic scale will sound good. Now, one thing that's important is if I hit play, it'll play what I have in my timeline, but it'll also keep looping this up here. You see this. I transpose this up a half step. It's going to sound funny. Okay, so if I go over here and I switch the pattern to a blank pattern on the tone matrix, it disables that synthesizer, and now I'll only hear what's in my timeline. This is the timeline down here. You can have as many patterns as you like, up to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I like leaving the 8th one blank because then it enables you to have a few options here. You can click on the timeline wherever you want your little white line to be. And so when I go copy pattern track, it'll add it to right here. You see the tone matrix here that I first created. If I double click on the pink bar here, that'll minimize, and then I can see what else is on my timeline here. I can go to the next pattern, create another one, copy pattern to track. Now this one, put it in the same spot, and maybe I'll just move that one over a little bit. And then I could go back to the beginning. I can click wherever I want that to be, or I can hit stop and it takes it back to the beginning. Hit play. Now, what you're hearing is that this is still playing up here. If I disable that. And now you're only going to hear what's in the timeline. See, there's a measure of blank space. You can always click and drag this little gray bar here and expand out my timeline. All right, so we've got a few different options here now that we've created. This is its own little track right here. It's like its own little mini sample. We can extend that out on the timeline by clicking and dragging the edge of that. We can move it around. We can drag it back from the beginning. Whoops. There we go. We can go that way as well. So you could have pickup notes that go into the measure. You can hold down Control while clicking and dragging, and it copies it over. You get something like that. And then you see this little blue bar up here. This is your loop. And wherever you got that loop, you can work on a specific section of the song. You can disable that by coming up here to loop playback, and it turns it off, and now your timeline will keep moving. In which case you'll need to hit stop and bring it back to the beginning. Couple other things you can do with the tone matrix here. You could always just create a blank track here, and you can completely customize all the notes in here, which means you could get down into the bass notes too. Let's say I created a pattern. One way that this can work well. Copy pattern to track. We can move this one over. If I double click on that, you can actually highlight notes and then click and drag them so you can transpose them. move them around within the timeline. We'll drag this down, and we can make a baseline this way. Let's see, we'll clear that out. By the way, you can always hit clear and it'll delete. See how low that was right there. So a few different options in here, and those are all ways that you can use the tone matrix. Let you play around with that. All right, hope you enjoyed this and enjoy the tone matrix.